Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Sad, bad news. Dilbert creator Scott Adams is no longer with us after a battle with stage 4 prostate cancer. Scott checked himself into a hospice earlier this month as his health rapidly declined. While Scott was famous for satirizing office culture, his later years were marked by controversy after controversy that ultimately overshadowed his legacy. In 2023, newspapers all over the world canceled Dilbert. This after Scott told white folks, stay the F away from black people. Yeah, he took it a step further. He said that black people were a hate group. Yeah, fam, check it out.
You know, nearly half of all blacks are not okay with white people, according to this poll, not according to me, according to this poll. That's a hate group. That's a hate group. And I don't want to have anything to do with them. And I would say, you know, based on the current way things are going, the best advice I would give to white people is to get the hell away from black people. Just get the fuck away. Wherever you have to go, just get away. Because there's no fixing this. This can't be fixed. All right, this can't be fixed. You just have to escape. So that's what I did. I went to a neighborhood where, you know, I have a very low black population. Because unfortunately, there's a high correlation between the density. And this is according to Don Lemon, by the way. So here I'm just quoting Don Lemon when he notes that when he lived in a mostly black neighborhood, there were a bunch of problems that he didn't see in white neighborhoods. So even Don Lemon sees a big difference in your own quality of living based on where you live and who's there. So I think it makes no sense whatsoever as a white citizen of America to try to help black citizens anymore. It doesn't make sense. It's no longer a rational impulse. And so I'm gonna back off from being helpful to black America because it doesn't seem like it pays off. Like I've been doing it all my life, and the only outcome is I get called a racist. That's the only outcome. It makes no sense to help black Americans if you're white. It's over. Don't even think it's worth trying. Totally not trying. And there we go. You didn't expect that today, did you? But those who don't want to focus on education, you just need to get away from them. Just get as much distance as you can. That's my recommendation. And I'm also really sick of seeing video after video of black Americans beating up non-black citizens. I realize it's anecdotal, and it doesn't give me a full picture of what's happening. But every damn day I look on social media and there's some black person beating the shit out of some white person. I'm kind of over it. I'm over it. Right? So I quit.
So let me explain something to you. If a group of people are harmed, excluded, exploited, discriminated against, lynched, subjugated, abused, mistreated for generations by another group of people, wouldn't it be unreasonable to expect said group of people to take a liking to the other group? I'm just asking. So he said, according to the poll, half of black people were not okay with white people. I think that's very damn good, considering all of the years, the hundreds of years of abuse and lynchings and murders and rape and theft and subjugation and discrimination. I think those are some damn good numbers. Wouldn't you? I mean, think about it, fam. How? It's like an abuser who abuses someone and then they get mad for the person complaining about being abused. They act like they're the victim because a person just kept quiet about it. They took the abuse, they accepted it, and they kept quiet, and, they just continue to love on them, regardless of the scale of abuse, the consistency of abuse. This is absolutely amazing to me when people have that type of attitude. I do believe that white people should be grateful that all black people don't hate them. This is not about blaming individual white people for everything in history. It's about acknowledging that history shapes present attitudes and emotions. You can be personally decent and still benefit from systems that harmed others. Here's what I think. I think a lot of people who are not black really don't see black people as human beings. Yeah. Because how else do you explain that other people, other races, other groups are allowed to be shaped by their historical trauma without being called bitter, racist, or irrational, while black people, on the other hand, are told to move on, get over it, while the consequences of that trauma is still visible in the wealth gap, housing, policing, health, education, and on and on and on and on and on. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Am I cooking? Yeah, I thought so. See, I know you. Woo, I studied you, man. I studied you. I made straight A's. Yeah, man, I studied you. Check this out. If someone grew up with an abusive parent, you wouldn't tell them, get over it. That was a long time ago. No, you try your best to be understanding as to why they're cautious, guarded, or resentful. Collective trauma works the same way. Why you can't get that? Why is it so hard to understand that? And let me tell you something, family. It would be different if that really was a long time ago and people didn't experience the daily remnants of it. But it's still happening in different forms. This is why black people are putting it out there. This is why no longer are black people silent about the mistreatment. And this is why many have decided to fight back. Now, I know you're not used to that. You're used to the docile blacks. Yeah. Yes, sir. No, sir. Scared to look in your eyes. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Scared. Yeah. That's what you're used to. And anything other than that scares the hell out of you. You're used to the black guy who will allow you to come into his house and rape, pillage, and do whatever you want to do. And then ride on out into the sunset and giggle about it. Yeah. So that's what scares you. Talking to some mumbo jumbo about how he's not interested in helping black people anymore. And every time he does, he gets called a racist. Oh, what kind of help was you giving out? Because I don't know white people who are really on the job, really putting in that work, helping black people who are being called a racist. You know what Scott had a good, healthy dose of? Good old-fashioned privilege. Yeah, good old-fashioned entitlement. Yeah. 50%. I think that is extremely generous considering all things. Yeah. On a personal note, I rock with who rock with me. I don't care what color you are. If you love me, I love you. But if you hate me, I hate everything about your ass. Everything. And I hate you 1,000 times more. You want to do something to me, I want to do something to you 1,000 times more. Yeah, man. That's how I rock. But I can't be mad at black people who has decided that they don't like no white people. I can't be mad at those people because that's their personal experience. I cannot be mad at that. To me, it seems like Scott should have been more mad about the racist whites who has made it so hard, who had made it so hard for him to be so benevolent. Yeah, it seems like you should be mad at them. And if they're so mad about how black people feel about them and calling them racist, why do they work so hard to be a racist? That's what I would have liked to ask Scott. If you don't like black people calling you a racist, why do you work so hard at being a racist? I'll leave you with this. You don't have to like it. You don't have to agree with it. But you absolutely do not, under any circumstances, get to police how people feel about centuries of abuse and expect no emotional residue. You're not owed an apology. You're not owed trust. You're not owed affection. And you're not owed forgiveness from people whose history of power looks very different from yours. No more talk.